Hey guys, MJK here with a character spotlight on the new banner units, HAYATE, MARGARET, and LUPINUS. This video is sponsored by Gumi, and this is actually their account. This is not my account, as you can see in the upper left corner. And that's because they're basically temporarily renting it to me, and other content creators can do the same, and we can spotlight units that we don't particularly own in our own accounts. This is actually nice for me because I don't feel like constantly pressured to pull everything so that I can spotlight them or show them off. This way I can just showcase it, and if I don't want to pull for them, I don't have to. So that's pretty nice. So thank you, Gumi, for that. Let's go ahead and jump into the first one. We're going to talk about HAYATE here. As I mentioned, this is kind of the booby prize of the banner, and that's because not that he's terrible, but we already have so many strong wind units, and he doesn't offer anything new. Like, we've already seen this before. All kind of basic jobs, very, very similar to Kazahaya. Instead, he has a hunter over thief. But if you were to use him, you didn't have any other better options, you can go ahead and set him up as a ninja for the extra mobility and for the agility and all that, status inflicting. Then basic combat for charge up, roundhouse kick, and so forth for a little extra offensive potential. Counter is a pretty basic reactive ability, but he doesn't really have anything particularly useful to go to anyway. Ninja stealth is for the extra mobility, of course, move and jump +1, and then focus is to help hit enemies that might otherwise dodge. But if you're not really worried about that and they don't really dodge, or you kind of know the level, you can go with just a little bit extra HP instead. Perfectly fine. But that's how I would set him up. I'm not going to showcase him because like I said, there's really nothing new here. Margaret, again, really not anything particularly new, but I am going to use her because first of all, her support's going to help us kind of go faster with like a jewel investment and so forth. But not everybody isn't even that familiar with merchants because they're not that common for some reason, even though I think they're pretty useful. So we'll go ahead and bring her along as well. But these are the stats. Like I said before, the HP is actually pretty good. I mean, this is a support unit but has 770 HP, which is better than a lot of the tanks that we have in this game. That may change with the HP rebalancing, but for now, that's a very, very good HP pool for a support. Even the defense and everything's pretty decent. Agility 110, I mean that's faster than even like Lofia or so forth. Move 4, that's pretty nice. This is the setup that I'm bringing. Salesman skill has like the jewel investment, which is kind of your mini overclock. Gives you 50 CT, but it also has the advantage of being instant cast, and it also has some height advantages over overclock, so you don't have to be on the same like level as the other allies that you're trying to use it on. So I think it's kind of underestimated overall. Basic salesman skill has cure delivery, which is like heal around herself, which is instant again, which is really nice. Poison pill, which is basically a vaccine type of ability. Risk hedge risk hedge is a better version of absorb jewels, I think. Divine Shelter is a really nice passive that I mentioned a million times before. Raises her elemental resistance so that she's taking less damage overall, which is making her even tankier, which is why I think she's actually a kind of a sneaky good unit here. And then Magic Up +2, I heard that this actually helps her heal more with Cure Delivery, but if you're not really using that skill too much or banking on that, you can go with either one of these skills that just helps her jewel situation, like her initial jewels versus getting more jewels per hit and so forth. So it's really up to you, but yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. And then we have Lupinus, who is the first summoner that we have, and her stats are pretty like typical what you would expect from a kind of a good mage type of character. The M attack, magic attack is very high, magic defense is pretty high. The agility is not that bad for this kind of unit, like a casting type of unit. Move and jump are pretty average. Yeah, it's like what you would expect pretty much. That's new. That's kind of interesting. Okay, so anyway, the ability setup, we're gonna go ahead and use summoning and basic summoning because those are both new. I want to showcase those. But in reality, and I've tested this out before, in reality, I'd probably go with like basic chronomancer, basic chronomancy, or basic sorcery, because these are probably more useful, whether you want to do support or more offensive capabilities. Because basic summoning is not that great, but we're gonna see it anyway. Divine Power is a guaranteed reactive ability that can basically cast actually from range too. It has a range of 4, and a height range of 2, which is really nice. So even like an archer or something that hits you is not safe from this counter ability. Pretty scary stuff, but actually I wish I could. I'm actually gonna take it off because I've actually tried to run this before and record this video. Every time I had this on, she would just counter everything and kill all the enemies, and I wasn't able to really showcase her abilities fully. So I'm gonna change that for counter delay. But just imagine that I have divine power in there, because that's probably the best reactive ability that she has. Time leap gives her extra skill uses, but you could use fervent aria if you're trying to resist silence, or clock resist if you're trying to resist stuff like delay or stop. But it depends on the level, of course, and the enemies. Magic up +2, obviously, for more damage, and that's pretty self-explanatory. So why don't we go ahead and jump into a level. We'll try to primarily showcase the new stuff that people haven't seen before. So I'm gonna go into Rogue's Trial here because I don't want to deal with the slow that can happen in that Knight's mastery level that I was showcasing recently. So that's why I'm picking this one, but I might have to do a couple runs just to showcase everything. Alright, so with Margaret, we're just gonna keep doing jewel investment to make Lupinus go more often. And this does actually help, even though Lupinus is already going to go next anyway. It helps her get her turn after this even faster, much in the same way that Overclock does. So yeah, that CT kind of stacks up. Alright, so the first ability that we'll see is Beast of Light. This summons Carbuncle, and it's 5x5, and it does pretty decent heal. 500 heal at this moment, and it does more later in the future, of course. Yeah, 500 is pretty good, but the cast speed is a little bit of a downer, but you can't really expect much more from an AoE heal like this. Although Margaret, or merchants in general, can do cure delivery on demand, but that would do about 232 rather than 500. So regular attack 377, okay, that's not too bad. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and summon something offensive here. We'll do Judgment. Judgment and Dark Flare are basically the same thing, except Judgment is light magic damage and Dark Flare is dark. So depending on the situation, you know, either one can be better, but in most cases they're pretty much the same thing. So yeah, nice 5x5 diamond. Let's see how many we can hit with before they move. Yeah, I mean, summoners are just cool in general. Like if you're an RPG fan and so forth, they're just nice. I wish I had her, but the cast speed is kind of a downer. Like it brings her lower than somebody like a Sakura, who can basically do a 5x5 on command, or Gilgamesh, of course, as well. So here she's still casting, but because of the jewel investment, she's able to go already. But we're just gonna wait and let her finish her casting. So there we go, Judgment. Really cool stuff. Looks like Odin, if you're familiar with other games. That's the light version, and then we'll do the dark one next. Actually, before we do that, I can even do this guy, Shielding Feline. This raises physical defense, magic defense, and agility. So we'll go ahead and showcase that just to see what it looks like. No more jewels on Margaret, so she's pretty much done now. Again, I've done this run before, but she was just killing everything with divine power as a reactive ability. That's pretty cool. Shielding Feline kind of reminds me of like Kate Sith, or I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, pretty cool stuff. Alright, so let's do Dark Flare. This is the dark version. Who is not going to move out of the way? Okay, I think this guy's probably my best bet here. So 1202 damage. Pretty nice. So there we go. Looks like a Bahamut type of character. Alright. Sorry, Margaret, you're just going to stand there. Let's get off these other basic skills here. So basic summoning, we have Radical, which is a 3 range single target, 948, 914. Cast speed of 360, so it's a little bit faster. There's more usage. There's fewer jewels to cast this, but it is only single target. Bloody Wolf hits in a line, and this one has a cast speed as well, but they'll probably move out of the way. No, she got it off. Okay. Maybe I should have done the ratty one first. So that's what Bloody Wolf looks like, kind of like a Retribution Blade type of ability. Pretty nice, but again, it's not worth the slot. So if you're able to get like job 2, job 3, I would probably go with those as your basic skill instead. So the only other one we need to show is the ratty one, and then we'll be done. Yeah, I do wish I had this character though. I may do step 2 and 3 in the coming days. I'm not quite sure yet, especially now that I've showcased them. So our first move, since we're trying to do the ratty move, we can't really do anything because we're out of range. Hopefully Lupinus can go pretty soon. She's able to get her turn fairly quickly because of those leftover CT points from the jewel investment. So alright, so let's go ahead and hit somebody with a ratty. Let's hit Lucian. Yeah, he's not gonna move. Let's hit him because he's a wind element and he'll take more damage. So let's see what that looks like. And it's literally just a metal ratty falling out of the sky onto his head. Wow, he actually survived that? What happened? Wait, what happened? Oh, it was the 1 HP left, the guts type of ability. That's what happened. Well, I'm gonna let Margaret smack you down here. Alright, so anyway, hope you guys enjoyed watching that. Hope you guys saw something new. I know this is the first time I've used these characters. Not this particular run, but you know, today it's the first time I've used them, or even seen them really. So they're kind of cool. They're not must-haves, they're not OP, but if you have jewels left over somehow after Face Day Night, you know, they're not gonna let you down because they will improve in the future as well. But they're not a must-pull, so just, you know, exercise caution or whatever. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm gonna have this kind of access in the future as well, I believe. So, you know, I won't have to pull for everything. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.